up, everyone? So excited to be doing this. Some of you have seen me on 2 panels already, so you're probably tired of me. But I want to talk about something I'm really passionate about and something I feel very strongly about, which is, what's the future? And I know that's the theme for this conference, but my belief is the future is fun. And I call this the gaming and metaverse revolution. Now, who am I? I'm really stretched, is who I am. But I run a media company, among other things. I'm an investor. And I'm really focused on gaming and metaverse. I think that's the theme of who I am. Sorry, I'm trying to be on time here. Does anyone know what the most popular form of entertainment was last year? Does anyone have any guesses? By dollars, by viewership, by any metric? Does anyone know? Yell it out. I heard gaming. It's a great guess. It's the correct answer. It's not movies, it's not music, it's not TV, it was gaming. Maybe that surprises no one in this room. But I think what is surprising maybe to some in this room is just how much hype gaming is getting. I think a lot of people, industry people, have been talking about the hype of metaverse, the hype of Web3, but gaming has been having its hype moment for half a decade now. It has been all people in some circles have been talking about. And so I have a bunch of, headlines here. But I think what's interesting about that is that it should make you take a pause. You should stop and wonder, why have all these people been talking about gaming for the last half decade? Is there something to this that's been happening that's not just today, that's not just Web3, that's not just metaverse? And it's my belief that the world is changing, but more importantly, has been changing. And I think this is the key difference. This is not the revolution. I disagree with the last panel. Web3 is not the revolution. The revolution has been happening for a decade and a half at least, probably 2 decades. It's accelerating today, but the revolution has already been happening. And the acceleration is metaverse, it's Web3, it's everyone latching on to gamification and gaming and trying to make it their own. Now, technology is obviously enabling this revolution. It's accelerating it. The ability to build immersive experiences, what scientists call the uncanny valley. In other words, an experience that my brain cannot differentiate real from virtual. Makes you stop and wonder. Maybe we're all living in a metaverse right now, and our bodies are plugged in somewhere. Maybe the metaverse has already happened. But technology is enabling this revolution. And I say, and I'm hell-bent, I will fight anyone on this, anyone who has kids in this room, your kids will spend 10 years of their life plugged into a metaverse. 10 years, at least 10 years of their life. Now, the form this will take, this is my opinion. I call it the Holodeck. I didn't come up with this name. If there are Star Trek nerds here, Star Trek invented this. But thinking about the holodeck is what makes me excited about the future. Because the holodeck in Star Trek is a room, you can go into this room, and you can ask the holodeck for anything you want. I could say, I want to go skiing in the Alps. And the holodeck puts snow and a mountain under my feet, the air is cold, I have skis on. The holodeck can create that reality that is indistinguishable from the real world. And so the holodeck becomes in my mind, the apex on-ramp for the metaverse. This is not someone with a thing on their face. This is not someone hooked up like the Matrix, but instead technologies that allow us to continue to occupy our own body, but be anywhere and anything we want. Now, this, in my mind, is game-changing. The day human beings invent holodecks, and it's coming. I've seen some of the tech. It is coming. The day human beings invent holodecks, This is a bigger revolution than, I will say, the wheel, electricity, or the printing press. Holodecks, and by association gaming, if you define gaming as the creation of virtual worlds, becomes the biggest industry on the planet. Hundreds of trillions. Not tens of trillions, not a few trillion, because it swallows everything. Entertainment, all of entertainment, music, movies, TV, sports, all of travel, all of education. Frankly, the entire adult industry gets swallowed by a holodecks. And so, this is the most disruptive thing, for sure in our generation, but I think for humanity as a whole. And it's close. Like I said, technology is already being developed to allow for smell, touch, mobility, all of these things to make these worlds more immersive. Now, like I said, this revolution's not new. And I will argue that over 3 billion people have already joined the revolution. There's this character from World of Warcraft here. I mean gamers. Gamers are the 3 billion people who have already joined this revolution. And I make the case that for the metaverse, and I made it on the panel this morning, fun is the killer app. Not owning, not earning, not an NFT. Those things will bring people for the novelty for one moment, and they never come back. And the proof is there. We've seen it. Metaverses built on things, anything other than a game, have not succeeded. They have failed. The only ones that continue to succeed, I would argue, are not really metaverses. They're quasi-metaverses. World of Warcraft, Fortnite, Roblox, you name it. These are all games. Fun has to be the killer app. It's the only thing that will keep people coming back. So I want to reinforce, I think, which is my main point today. There's no metaverse without gaming. If you're a team building a metaverse and you don't have people who love gaming on your team, you're doing it wrong. And there is no metaverse without fun. The metaverse will not exist without these two things. This is how I view the ecosystem. Maybe controversial. I put gaming as sort of the overarching, but if you believe everything I've said up until now, then maybe you believe this. Blockchain and Web3 are cool, but they're components, and I don't think they're necessary components. They power specific slices of the metaverse, like finance, payments, or information, or things like that. But at its core, these are games. Let me give you some numbers. I'm going to fly through this because we're running out of time. A huge percentage of the population are already gamers. And I'll send these slides, by the way, to anyone who wants them and who wants to look at the statistics in more detail. But a huge percentage, 90+% of Gen Z and millennials. Gamers, all of this has gone mainstream. 100 billion hours of gaming watched on YouTube in 2020. It's a lucrative audience. They're savvy, they're crypto savvy, and maybe more importantly, they have 2 times the disposable income of a non-gamer. So gamers have money to spend. Now, I think this is the tip of the iceberg, because I think the metaverse will take gaming to the next level. But why should you care about any of this? I think it's obviously the most lucrative opportunity in the history of business. If you believe that gaming is at the core of the metaverse, then gaming becomes the biggest industry on the planet. Second biggest, just pure interest, healthcare. Something we'll need to take care of our bodies while we're plugged in. Now, success factors for the metaverse, and maybe these are not so surprising if you've followed me the whole way here, but deep knowledge of gaming, understanding of gaming culture and places, and the third point, maybe most controversial, rejection of crypto for crypto's sake. If crypto's there and it provides a net benefit to the metaverse user, I'm in. But I say net benefit because no one takes into account the downside. As soon as you introduce crypto, blockchain, anything, you need a crypto wallet. Automatically you introduce friction. This is a bad thing. So net benefit and an unwavering focus on fun. So the metaverse is going to evolve out of gaming. The metaverse is the gamification of everything, and fun has to be at the heart of it. That's my message. The future is fun, guys. I left half a minute for questions, if someone has a really good question. If not, I'm 30 seconds ahead.